Hello and happy Saturday, everyone. It's March 29th. Um, Today is also the partial solar eclipse in Aries. I almost forgot about that. So I think I'm going to do two card pulls today. I think I'm going to do one for the general vibe for your Saturday and one for the eclipse, this part of eclipse season specifically. I was gonna say, I'm like in such a great mood today. I went out, I got a little bit out of my comfort zone, wearing something I haven't worn in a while. And I think that's why I'm having a good day. I'm really embracing all this. So I hope you guys are doing something fun for your Saturday too. But since I want to do multiple card pulls, let's get into it and see what the vibe is generally for Saturday. And then we'll talk about the eclipse. Okay, so today's card is the Seven of Swords reversed. A lot of reverses happening this last week for me. It's pretty rare. But I think the tides are turning for some of you. Whereas normally you're like carrying a lot of weight, you're kind of running off on your own. Swords in this regard, it could kind of be like a burden with all that on your shoulder. But I think in reverse that a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about, maybe some of the things, the deception that some of you are going through, I think that might be starting to shift a little bit for some. Maybe you've already confronted the person that you were concerned about, and I think you're just kind of running off. I think you're like, I got this. Don't worry about it. We don't need you anymore. It's all good. And I think that means that good things are coming, right? Like you could also be getting some good advice. I just heard that. Some really good like counseling coming from someone else. So instead of like having to be self-reliant and carry everything, I think that you're going to have someone else who can come in and actually help you with the things that you need to get done, actually put you on the right path instead of trying to take advantage of you. So I would definitely say get yourself in a better vibe, get yourself in a better mood, right? Like again, today I'm wearing a dress for the first time in a very long time. I'm wearing pink. I don't usually like lighter colors specifically. Like I went out, I tried a new coffee shop today. Like do something that's going to get you kind of out of your comfort zone, out of your normal routine. And you might actually be able to have like a conversation with someone who gives you insight that you weren't expecting to have, right? So that's what I would take away from today, just the general vibe, kind of the rest of the weekend. But let's see what the vibe is going to be for the eclipse, specifically the solar eclipse. So for today's solar eclipse, I actually decided to go with one of my Green Witch decks, just to mix it up a little bit from some of the other ones that I've been using, because I don't use this one as often in comparison to the other ones, and just see kind of what the earth has to say, right? Like what is a message that we can get from the things that we interact with every day, plants, herbs, fruits, that kind of stuff. I think there's usually some great context there, some great hidden messages that we could like really learn from if we pay attention. So just let's see what this deck has to say today. And again, the vibe and the energy going in is about the solar eclipse happening right now in Aries. And that can be a very intense time for people. The eclipse season, I know a lot of people have been going through it. But what I'm really hoping to do is give a message that allows you to figure out how to navigate that, right? Because it doesn't have to be overbearing and terrifying if we don't want it to be. But sometimes we just need a little bit of advice to push us in the right direction. So I'm going to go with, okay. Give me a second here. So we have Cauliflower, which says transition, right? There's a little bit of a candle. There's I believe that's Pisces up here, which is funny because we're like having just come out of Pisces season. And like the moon symbol here. So trying to see if there's anything else in this card. I think that the message for today is literally that transition, right? Like it says it right here. I think that many of you have a big decision to make in your life. And I don't think that this is specific to business, as I've been doing a lot of readings on. I think that this is a very personal decision. And one way or the other, you're going to go on a new path. But I think it's been a little bit scary. And the truth is, if you don't do the new thing, like you'll never know you'll just never know if it was right for you. Now, I'm not saying to like make a drastic decision, because eclipses aren't necessarily the best time for manifesting or jumping into things. But I do think it's time to make a plan. I do think that you really have to look at and take stock of your life and figure out, what is it that you want to be doing? What is it that could make a huge difference in your life? And what are the steps that you need to take to get there? Because if you don't make a plan, you're automatically going to fail, right? And failure isn't necessarily a sign that you aren't meant to do certain things, but you'll never actually succeed if you don't take the time to figure out what it is you really want and how can that come together. What can you do to make that kind of stuff happen? So really take time this weekend to do that. Write down, what is it you want? What is the time frame you want to be doing that stuff in? Who do you need to call? What books do you need to read? What kind of savings do you need to start kind of making to maybe move or to purchase new equipment for something? Like, there's a lot of advice coming down. There's a lot of things that you could all be doing right now. And I just think that you have to put fear aside and transition. So I hope you guys enjoyed both of those card pulls today, and I will talk to you tomorrow.